What's up guys, Ruppy here bringing you Week 3 of the League of Extraordinary Trainers. My Columbus Swoo are currently sitting at a 1-1 record. Could have some better differential though, we really need to get back into the positives. So hopefully this will be the week we accomplish that. This week we are playing the Chicago Rapids, coached by Gage. And I will tell you right off the bat right now, if there is one thing I am expecting to see on the other side without question, it is a dastardly little fellow by the name of Melmetal. Melmetal is going to be a problem. That was his first draft pick, outside of his G-Max pick. And I just have a feeling it's going to cause me some problems. But let's get into this and see exactly what we are up against. I have a pretty good idea what to expect. Let's see here. There's the Melmetal. No surprise there. He brought Weavile, which is a bit of a pain but manageable. Gigalith. Mimikyu. Centiskorch, which is his G-Max Mon. And Passimian. Alrighty. So, a lot of things I expected to see. I am glad to not see Claydol. Again, full rosters are down below if you want to see what all I have and what all he has and could have brought. I'm glad to not see Claydol because that means Thermidor is basically free to Volt Switch out on his entire team. The main game plan here is basically to try to get Cryogenic in, set up a Dragon Dance, and go to town. I need Melmetal out of the equation to be able to do that, but okay, Passimian is most like... I'm gonna lead Thermidor then. I know I think this is the third week in a row. Yeah, I think this is actually the third week in a row I've led with Thermidor. But I have good reason to this week because it is Scarfed, it can Volt Switch out on everything. Because he did not bring the Claydol, and Gigalith is part ground, so it is not resisting. Or stopping me from doing just that. I'm also going to make a habit of trying not to calc as much this week, just for the sake of my timer. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll see. He's going to lead with Passimian. I am honestly expecting this to be his Scarfer. I could do a tremendous amount of damage right now with an Overheat, but I'm just going to Volt Switch out. Volt Switch is going to be my safest play. And if we're both Scarfed, I definitely outspeed this thing. He's going to find out I'm Scarfed if that's the case. But I'm kind of fine with that, because I get a nice chunk of damage off. And honestly, I think I can go into Muddy here. My good old Mudsdale. Good friend Muddy. Alternatively, I could go into Penny Bags. Now I'll go into Muddy. Muddy is fully physically defensive. It can take hits. Not to mention the fact that it will give me a stamina boost, whatever he does. He's going to U-turn out. So that's going to give me a stamina boost, which is always nice, especially since I am packing Body Press on this thing for whatever he wants to run. So if Passimian's got U-turn, I'm going to operate under the assumption that Passimian is Scarfed, because nothing else on his team really makes sense being Scarfed. He's going straight into Centiskorch now. That is interesting. And perfectly fine with me, honestly, because if he G-Maxes now, I have +1 defense and I'm Impish max defense. I'm just going to go straight for a Rock Slide. Forget setting up, I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide at this point. Try to get rid of this thing. And he is going to go ahead and G-Max, so he's burning his G-Max early. I am perfectly fine with that. Even if he's Adamant Max Attack, he shouldn't be doing too much with the Max Overgrowth I'm half expecting here, because I wouldn't be surprised if he brought Power Whip, specifically for things like Mudsdale and Jellicent. Yep, there it is. But I should be able to take this fairly well with the +1. Not as well. That was not a crit! What are you running? Okay, something is not right here. I'm going to be able to get this Rock Slide off and do a tremendous amount of damage, but something is not right here. With that damage output, I didn't see Life Orb recoil. And he can't possibly be banded because choice items don't work when you G-Max. Expert Belt, maybe? I know another one is gonna kill Muddy. I'm gonna switch in Thermidor. I kind of hate making this play, but honestly, especially since Thermidor is, I'm not running a defensive Rotom this week. Son of a bitch. Well, I made a horribly bad decision there. What water move does this thing get? Okay, we have a problem here now. Because I basically just lost my best Melmetal answer. Because okay. He's got one turn left. I've got a bit of a bold play I'm going to make. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm going to go into... Okay, so Rotom's off the table, and that is very, very bad. I'm going to go into Penny Bags. And then... I'm already in a bad spot, and I'm not a fan of this. I'm going to double into Morningstar. I want to see if I can bait the max overgrowth here. I have a feeling I probably just made a bad play, but... Yes, I did. I don't know how the hell Morningstar survived that, but it's probably not surviving from this point. And the bad news is I basically just blew my Melmetal answers trying to stop this thing. Ugh. Well, this is brilliant. Way to go, me. I'm gonna try to protect. I'm probably gonna die to the fire spin as a result, but this thing gets Scald. That is interesting to me. That this thing gets Scald. And there goes Ferrothorn. So I'm in a 6-4 hole. It's the same exact hole I was in last week. Except I was also in a much better spot last week, too. Alright, we are going back into Penny Bags at this point. I kind of really don't have much other choice here. And I'm going to go ahead and Strength Sap. I have a feeling I just made a bad play. Right, the grassy terrain is... Okay. I need to calm down here. Because... I rushed this. I rushed this horribly. I wanted to not worry about the chest timer, just because I did bring myself fairly low-ish last week. And now I realize I'm putting myself in a spot... Solar Beam? Is he Power Herb? No, he is not! Is he fully special? I have a feeling... Well, the grassy terrain is gone, so that's good. I think he's a fully special... I'm gonna set up a sub. Special Centiskorch. Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot. So he must not be as specially invested, I guess. Well, there goes the rain. I could have used that. Special Centiskorch. That is an interesting one. I'm going to go ahead and Strength Sap again. It's going to take him 2 turns to break my sub if he wants a Solar Beam again, and I can basically just keep healing up. Yep, he's going to withdraw, which is exactly what I was hoping to see. Into Passimian. I will take that. Because I'll be able to Strength Sap from this thing, get some HP back. Oh, right. Defiant is a thing. Of course it is. Well, I may have a solution to that, and its name is Will-O-Wisp. He's got to break my sub anyway. There's Knockoff. I'm not surprised to see that. He crits me. Thank you, Jellicent, for the burn. Okay, I guess in that regard, him bringing this thing was actually a smart call. I'm gonna go back into Muddy. I feel iffy about making this play, but since he is +1, but with the burn, he's gonna get rid of my leftovers. And he is locked into Knockoff right now. I'm going to take the opportunity to set up my rocks, just because I need to start chipping away at things. Alright. So, I am in a horrendous spot here. I'm not going to lie on that. He's just going to knock off again. And it is going to go ahead and kill me. Okay. So, we are bad news all over the place here. But you know what? I might have an idea. Since he's locked into Knockoff, I'm going to go into Master Org. I am running a Light Clay screen set this week. I'm going to get the Reflect up. I'll be able to get it off before he actually knocks off my item if he wants to keep this thing in, which is perfectly fine with me. And the Reflect will certainly help try to turn this game around. However he wants to play this. He's going to switch into Centiskorch. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and set up the light screen too. I really don't think I need to because outside of, now that I think about it, outside of this thing, he doesn't have anything else that really screams special attacker to me. But I want to be absolutely certain here before I go G-maxing on him. Because G-max Grimmsnarl turned the tide for me last week. I think it's going to do the same this week as well. I honestly do. And Light Screen will at least make dealing with this thing 1,000 times easier. And he's going to go into Weavile, and he's going to go into Weavile. Okay. Interesting play there. I'm curious what his game plan is. I know what mine is. I'm G-maxing and I'm firing off a Max Starfall. I would not be surprised to see this thing sash, honestly, at this point. In any case, I'm G-maxing. Master Org is here, in his true form, ready to try and turn this around. I've got my screens up, so I'm not... Alright then. Crafty play on his part, I'm not gonna lie. Sacking Weavile to break... The fact that he expected screen... I am legitimately stunned that some of these newer... I guess I really shouldn't be, but a lot of these newer coaches I've been running into for LET that have come in this season, for some reason they are able to read my prep like a book, and it bothers me that this is the case, that I can get read this easily. I try not to be that obvious with my prep, but... Here comes Mimikyu now. I'm just going to use G-Max Snooze. I know I have to burn a turn busting this thing's disguise. He missed the play rough! Wow. I am very sorry for that because, to be honest, Master Orc should be 2-hit KO'd by this thing, even G-Maxed. And that... Wow. I'm just going to go for G-Max Snooze again, because it's my safest bet to hit everything at this point. He's going to hit me with Play Rough. Master Orc is going to live because of the extra health from G-Max. My attack is going to fall. And G-Max Snooze is not going to kill. Well then. I am still going to abuse Prankster to be able to at least get a Reflect back up. Because right now, Reflect is key to my endgame. Well. Trick Room Mimikyu, huh? Well, Master Orc will at least be able to burn a turn of that, getting rid of this thing. The problem is, one mon in particular I still need to deal with is still on the board. And he just made dealing with it a million times harder. I would not be surprised to see this thing come in at this point. It is of no surprise to me. This thing is definitely going to outspeed Master Org. I'm going to Darkest Lariat anyway because I really don't think I need the light screen. He's going to lock himself into Thunder Punch. I'm half expecting this thing. I am honestly legitimately expecting this thing to be Choice Banded. I really want to be able to bring in Cryogenic right now. I really do. But even behind a Reflect, this thing... I can't touch it. I've got to go into Penny Bags. I have no choice here. I'm going to Strength Sap this thing right out of the gate. He's definitely... I put Speed Investment on this thing. I wasn't expecting Vaporeon to come. But... I see he's going to go into Gigalith. Yeah, the problem is my... At this point, since he's probably going to burn my screens, I have a feeling my Kyurem plan is shot. At this point. Which is horrendous. Oh boy. I'm gonna set up a sub anyway, because honestly... honestly, yeah, that basically seals the deal right there. I can't really stall him out with Penny Bags anymore. I should have just scalded. I wanted to set up the sub in case he switched, but I forgot Trick Room is still a thing. Yeah, I will flat out admit. I got my ass handed to me this week. I got read like a book every step of the way here. There is no doubt about that. He's going to go into Passimian, which I believe I can kill with a Scald at this point. If it doesn't die to the Scald, it definitely dies to the burn I inflicted from Will-O-Wisp. Alright, so... Nope, the Sandstorm's going to take it out, so... He died to his own Gigalith's Weather. So I think my goal right now... if at all humanly possible, is to try and see if I can get Jellicent to hold out long enough. Centiskorch definitely dies to a... well, maybe not. He definitely has to break my sub before anything else. And I can damage this thing with Scald in the meantime. Venoshock. I mean, I resist. Yep. I am toxic, but I also resist, so that certainly helps. Yeah, I lost. There's no way out of this. Unless I can somehow get Melmetal in and kill it with Penny Bags, which I don't think... There is no way in hell he is bringing Melmetal in until Jellicent's dead. Because even if Centiskorch goes down, he can just go into Gigalith. And no amount of with this Kyurem set, no amount of setup is going to be able to stop Melmetal. I got red every step of the way in this game. If that shows me anything, even though I tried to be clever in some cases, if that shows me anything above all else, I definitely need to find a way to be less obvious with my prep. Definitely with my plays. There goes my Reflect. If Melmetal comes in now, I think it just straight up kills Jellicent anyway, even if it locks itself in a double Iron Bash, assuming it's banded, and I'm almost 100% certain this thing is banded at this point. I have no reason not to believe that. Nope, he's just gonna go back into Gigalith. He wants to be absolutely sure. I'm just gonna Strength Sap. Just to try to make my life somewhat easier. Maybe give Jellicent a little more longevity here. I know this game's a lost cause at this point. I am just trying desperately to hang on for as long as humanly possible. Alright, how much is the Toxic going to do? Because I may be about to make an utterly insane play here to try and see if I can somehow... That is a lot. Alright. I'm going to go into Kyurem. I know this is an absolutely insane play. I know it is probably not going to work. But I need something to try to turn this game around. He got 3 hits on that. So D-Dancing is of absolutely no value to me at this point. If he brings in Melmetal right now, what is my most effective move against it if he does make that switch? Dragon Claw is doing about as much of this thing as Icicle Spear would. So, might as well at this point. Is this Rock Blast going to kill? No, it's not. What about the hit? What about the Sandstorm? I'm gonna die to the Sandstorm. So, all my hopes and dreams at this point basically fall onto Jellicent. And I don't think this is going to happen. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. He even brought Rock Blast. It's now selling in on me that he even brought Rock Blast, expecting me to bring Sub to try to get around Melmetal. Gage, I give you all the credit in the world. You legitimately looked at my entire roster and somehow got in my head with your psychic powers and read every single possible thing I could have brought to this game. And you played accordingly. I hate you for it. I'm impressed, but because I'm going to lose, I'm obligated to hate you for it. I'm going to go ahead and Strength Sap in case Melmetal comes back in. Just, again, for the sake of longevity. I know I've lost, but if there is any humanly possible hope I can somehow still win this game, I have to take it, obviously. So if this thing is banded, and I've got no reason to really believe it isn't, I'm half expecting that after this toxic damage, I'm going to die to a Thunder Punch. Then again, I think I should be able to outspeed this thing. So I'm going to try burning it with Will-O-Wisp. See if that somehow lessens this. Nope. He really has no reason not to just keep switching at this point until the Toxic kills me. That is the stalemate we're at. Even still, I see my timer is virtually expired. I mean, it's not quite yet, but at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and say GG to him, because, yeah, at this point, there is absolutely no humanly possible way that this ends well for me. I'm just going to go ahead and Scald. If I'm going down, I at least want to be able to say I actually finished this game. If nothing else, at this point. I don't want... I know I've lost anyway, but I don't want to lose by timeout. I want to go down fighting till the very end. That's all I can hope for at this point. Just fighting to the end and praying that something somehow changes with my situation, even though I know it's not. Because between the sandstorm, the toxic damage that's racking up, this game is, for all intents and purposes, a lost cause. I mean, I'm going to Strength Sap just to try to, again, hold out for as long as possible, because I have no other option at this point. I think at this point, my goal is to maybe see if I can somehow try to chip away at his differential a little bit. Because if I'm going down, I at least want to try to walk away from this without being put into a further hole than I'm already in. Because I believe at this point I've got -2. That if I can get rid of Gigalith, or somehow get Melmetal out of the picture, miraculously. Even though I know that's not happening at this point. Absolutely not. I apologize, Gage, for the stally tactics here, and I apologize to anyone watching that this is certainly not the most exciting thing in the world. But I'm not just gonna forfeit, even though I know I've lost, and I at least want to try to go down fighting. I don't think he dies to the burn. Well, maybe he's got leftovers, so I don't think he dies to burn. Is the Toxic gonna kill me? Granted, I die to whatever hit Melmetal throws at me anyway at this point. But again, if I can at least pick Gigalith off, it puts me in a much... the hole is not as deep for me to climb out of. Okay, I'm gonna live one more turn. Unless he switches out here to preserve differential, which, to be fair, I wouldn't blame him for doing that. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So it is a 2-0 loss I'm going to take, which means I am right back to -4 differential. And 1-2. This season is certainly not starting off how I would have wanted to. But that's the game we play. And if this is any kind of sign to me whatsoever, I need to stop being obvious with my prep. Somehow, some way, I need to throw everything I've ever known about prepping for Pokemon out the window and basically relearn how to do this from scratch. Because I need to stop being red from Plan A all the way to Plan Z in these games. That's the part I'm most mad about, and it's nothing Gage did, because Gage prepped and played to perfection. I got my ass royally handed to me in every conceivable way in this game, and the fact that I only lost by 2 is honestly a miracle on that alone. But it is what it is. I'm mad at myself. I will take a week to basically be in self-loathing, basically kick my own ass and try to see if somehow, next week, whoever I play, I can bounce back and somehow fix this. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and I will see you guys next time. And I promise next time I will try to bring a more positive attitude into this as well. Oh dear. Take care, guys.